This is called Enter Through Medieval Wounds.
Unhinged. Enter through the ripped knee in denim jeans.
One-point perspective inside a 1980s coach bus. Continuous shot moving along the aisle. Highly detailed, geometrically patterned seat fabric. Flecked vinyl floor covering. Hinged skylights with large windows back, front and sides. The scene is captured from a low-angle front perspective. The shot is moody and cinematic, with a slight vignette and a warm, vintage tone. Analog film post-processing and denoise. The shot is captured on 35mm Fuji film stock from the 80s with an anamorphic 24mm lens.
Liverpool in the early 1980s, and I'm 19 years old on a football coach when some rival fans climbed on board and started a fight. One of them, huge eyes, worse face, horror hands, bad anatomy, knocked me down to the floor. With his knees on my shoulders, he hooked his fingers into the corners of my eyes and started gouging, digging his fingers into the flesh like he was pushing down into the dirt in order to feel some deep and primal connection to the earth, groping for something palpable, scrabbling for the real. Then, a dizzying collapse of tissue as he reached into the orbit of my eyeballs to yank out the tendril stalks tethered to my head. My ears caught a squelchy, slurping sound as with a joyous shout he plucked both eyeballs out. Pop, pop, all gummy, gluey, hot and botanical. There came a radiant, dazzling darkness as my eyes rolled down between the seats, all sticky with beer and crusted with crisps, before coming to rest near a white polystyrene takeaway box. Now I would think of St. Lucy holding out her glassy eyes on a gold plate, but looking back, I didn't have that kind of knowledge then.
The unseen. Enter through a channel of grace. Irene reverently approaches the gilded surface, burnished to a mirror sheen and animated by candlelight. Inside the Hagia Sophia, heavy with the scent of frankincense, she rises to place her lips on the image. She tastes the still, moist breath the iconographer had exhaled before they lay down a sheet of pure gold leaf. With this kiss, she demonstrates her reverence, her dulia for the veneration of icons. Her son Constantine felt that her captivated gaze may become idolatrous. Constantine.
I do not love any image. I do not stand in awe before any of them. Images are diabolical. It follows that we also become diabolical when we love them.
She, on the other hand, is ecstatic about that which he can only feel fear. Irene.
What can be seen can be pictured, and Christ was seen here on earth.
Constantine.
But how can the invisible be depicted? How can the unimaginable be portrayed? How can that without measure or size or limit be circumscribed?
Irene.
But these are images not made by human hand.
Constantine.
Anyone who ventures to represent the divine image, let him be anathema.
r/Byzantine memes. Name a Byzantine imperator, and I'll tell you why they suck.
Constantine VI was Byzantine emperor from 780 to 797 AD. He ruled alongside his mother, the Basilish Empress Regnant, Irene of Athens, during the iconomachia, or image struggle, that took place between the iconodules and the iconoclasts, the breakers of images. An image, when it is attacked, bleeds. So supporters of Irene rejoiced in plucking out Constantine's offended eyes. Pity poor Constantine. Deprived of his organs of power, he lost the struggle and the icons multiplied like the wind, a storm of images.
Incarnation, incarnation, the full affirmation of the incarnation.
What was invisible before the incarnation can now be seen. All representation descends from the gore and injury detail of the passion of the Christ. The Word made flesh could now be portrayed, a transubstantiation from text to image.
NB. This is not the Gnostic Christ, who could not experience the corruption of matter and therefore did not defecate.
Exit through medieval wounds.
Here's a direct question. Could you scroll out the eyes of a picture of your mum or your kid or a partner, just a crappy photo or even a drawing of someone you love? Could you? No, because it's actual bodily harm. It's fucking with magic. I'm telling you, all representation is diabolical.
Enter through a broken windscreen.
Vandalized, ruined, abandoned, 80s, coach interior, extra large 4557 times 3038 /JPEG. View image details.
They tore the curtains, dashed in pieces the skylights, break the luggage racks, spoilt the seat covers, wrested the metals, conveyed away the steering wheel, pulled up the vinyl floor, not sparing the glass and seats which were made about the coach for men to sit in. They trod under their feet and, horrible it is to say, shed their stinking piss upon it.
A night to dismember.
Enter once again through the knee of distressed denim.
A retro-nasal scent of Pack-a-Rabanne, stale beer, dried piss and choking diesel. The coach has become the vehicle for my headless eyes, still lying between the seats.
Untethered, yet still desirous, rods and cones still functioning, twin optical devices retaining memories in their vitreous humor, claggy with the weight of data. As a result of their dislocation from the fixed skull space, their vision is now infinitely spherical, the center of which is everywhere, and the circumference is nowhere. The coach journey continues along the geometries of the motorway system, heading towards a horizon which grows shallower and shallower, flattening out and pressing together the fictive planes of depth until they meet as one upon the gilded surface, burnished to a mirrored sheen, groundless, immeasurable, and uncircumscribable.
The Beyond.
Exit through an eyeless head. Kneeling on his rival's shoulders, he trembled in anticipation of the complete luxation of the globe from the orbit. He could hear the roar of blood in his ears and knew these things were real. The grain of wood, the heft of stone, the moisture of soil, and the voluptuous warmth of flesh. And so he viewed this as a great ceremony, a sacrament in which all his senses were intensified, elevated, deepened, and extended to the point of dissolution. Exit through the dazzling dark.